Sparklist. How's it going? It's like the guitar's all in 12 and the Juno is in 24, I believe. Pretty good. Got a long weekend. It's kind of surreal because I usually work 6 days a week, so having a string of days off is a welcome change of pace. Yeah. But later I'm gonna do some. I've been messing with more linnstrument mappings. I've been going back to 19 and 22, and oh really? What's the new tuning? But I found a couple tunings that, I mean, not tunings, a couple layouts that I'm pretty excited about because they have a lot of range Like I think the 19 Ito one, I have like 4 or 5 octaves. And then I think somehow on the 22 Ito one, I have like 6 octaves. I don't know how it just like worked out that way. But they're not, neither of them is as intuitive as like Bose and K. Actually, I think the 22 one is like it's like a weird, it's like almost like a flipped version of Porcupine. But the of like a Porcupine layout, it's like vertical instead of horizontal. But yeah, neither of them are that intuitive, but yeah, for the instrument. Yeah, did I say something? I don't know if I said Lumitone or something, but yeah, for the instrument. Uh yeah, I started playing with them the last couple days, and they're like visually they're not intuitive, but I think I think I'll get used to it pretty quickly, and they have like way more range, and they're also like feel pretty ergonomic, like more so than like Bose and K. They seem like better suited for like the instrument in terms of like playing the chords. They're just like a little more open. But yeah, the issue with both of them is that like scalar stuff, you can do it. It's not hard to play ergonomically, but it's just like very unintuitive. Like you have to think a lot more about what the notes are. So it's a lot more like guitar in that respect. Because even with the lights, uh, even with the lights corresponding to like naturals and sharps and flats, it's still like kind of like, whoa, wait, what is this? It's just not as obvious. But yeah, I'm really excited about exploring those some more. Because the biggest, hey Dom, what's going on? It's been a second. I'm doing pretty good. How you doing? Um, yeah, the biggest problem with like the instrument so far is like just getting enough range. Like I've every time I try to like learn a song or something in like 19, it's like, I'm already out of notes. Hey everyone, what's up? Kind of interesting seeing you on YouTube. Osmium saw your 74 Ito nomination, told you can use hemianiatonic in 74, which is in the continuum. So what? I'm not really familiar with that tuning. I'll have to check it out. Um, the tuning of the month winner. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna look that up. I don't see the winner. Where's the votes? It's this diaschismic Gothic equivalence continuum. I don't see the voting page. I'm in the channel. Tuning of the Month Club. Diaschismic tetrachot continuum. Any 5 limit tuning. Holy moly, look at that. diaschismic Gothmic equivalence continuum is a continuum of 5 limit temperaments describing a set of all 5 limit temperaments supported by 34. Oh, interesting. Oh, that's cool. I like 34 a lot. All temperaments in the continuum satisfy this. Approximately these. You could use 34, but that's boring. Hey, DM, what's up? Allow non-integer infinite. Continuum describes a set of all 5 limit temperaments supported by 34 due to it being a unique equal temperament that tempers out both commas. That is the 3 limit comma tempered out in 34. Supposed to 12th and 2, the 5th and 4, the 12th and 6th. Factor of 2 between n and the split of the interval class of 3 has to do with so if the 12 is divisible by 2, I don't really get this part. But anyway, twice the numerator represents the number of generator steps required to reach the third harmonic. So in immunity, what's this n? What the heck is this talking about? N. Oh, varying n. At n equals 2, we get tetrachord. Varying n results in different temperaments listed on the table below. Converges to diaschismic as n approaches infinity. If we allow non-integer and infinite n, the continuum describes a set of all 5 limit temperaments supported by 34 Edo. Because it tempers out both the commas. The just value of n is 3.414, so temperaments with n near this are the most accurate. Oh, interesting. So I guess Kleismic. Factor of 2 between n and the split has, oh, because it's split in 2 rings. Oh, weird. Okay. I can use Ableton. Yeah, everyone. Actually, that's a good point. Yeah, I kind of forgot about that. Use Arch. Let's see. I don't really know what any of this means. Well, I kind of know what this means. This is the... It equates this comma to a string of these. So however many of these equal this, I guess. Or... yeah. So if 2 of these equal this, it's what's this R? It's tetrachord. And if, so what is this? 1/2? What's the R though? Another reasonable way of defining this continuum equates the number of diaschismas with the tetrachord comma. So that, I guess that's the diaschisma, is approximately the tetrachord comma. So R equals n minus 2 for some reason. Diaschism tetrachord equivalence continuum. So you just have two ways of saying the same thing. So basically I can just ignore this. Alright. So n can be a non-integer too. Kind of weird. And do these still work in 34 if they're non-integers? We may invert the continuum by setting m such that 1 over n plus 1 over m equals 1. So 1 over m minus 1 over n. Or wait, what am I saying? 1 minus 1 over n equals 1 over n. That's what I meant to say. The just value is 1.41 forever in the 20 minutes. So if m is 0, how do you divide 1 by 0? You get Gothic. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. Well, I mean, how do you? It works in 34 regardless. This is something divided by 0, just 0. It says you can't. It's undefined. But I don't know. Anyway, it's interesting. Yeah, it's undefined. All right. Well, that's interesting. A lot of that's still quite over my head, but Yeah, maybe I should do 34. Well, I could just literally pick one of these, I think, right? It's the continuum of five element temperaments. Describing the set. So, all temperaments in the continuum, blah, blah, blah. And it tells you the, I don't really have to understand it. It tells you the continuum. It's right here. And it's based on this number. And it, I guess conceivably you could keep going, but because it's got dot, 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 it goes on to infinity. But, you know, I could literally like just pick some of those, I guess. Or ask Osmium. Mabilla is under. What is the difference between Mabilla and Mavilla? Mabilla just sounds like the mean version of Mavilla. Ten bad fifths reach a more in tune one. Interesting. This equals this. What the heck? Why don't they just do two Monzos? Is there a reason why it's first written as a Monzo and then it's written as a fraction? Because couldn't you write them both as a Monzo or both of them as a fraction? I'm pretty sure you could, because it's like basically the same thing. This is just like, unless one of these is prime or something, I guess that would make sense. If you like prime factorize this, I don't know. Or like one of these has like a super like high limit prime, but that would be weird, I think. This is 2 to the 28. This is, yeah, so why didn't they write it like that? That's weird. They could have wrote it as 28, 3, 10. Be 28. Oh, that's literally that. Oh, they're the same number. Wait, that's confusing. These are the same exact number. So it tempers this. Oh, this is the temperament depends on what it tempers it with. In this case, I don't get it though. Doesn't it have to equate this number to another number? So what? I mean, how big is this number? Wait, let me do this. So this would be only like a third of a cent. So it just renders that to nothingness. So these must equal this, I guess, right? If you multiply them. What? Where'd it go? Oh, right. Wait, how do you express it as a fraction? No, I know how to, don't want to. Here we go. Stop. Dude, where is it? Where's that nice fraction multiplier? There we go. Yeah, I love this thing. All right. Whoa, it's this 49, 48. Two, 8, 6, 7, 2, 2, 8, 1, 2, 5. Dude, just give me the answer. That's not what I was expecting. Oh no, don't reduce. Oh, here it is, unreduced. Right here. So 87808. Is that this number? No, this number's huge. So how does that relate to this? That's what I want to know. Wait, is this number even on here? 2, where is it? No, there's no supermassive number. Comma is crazy large. So tempering out is, yeah. 87808. Use Desmos, please. I don't know. It's too complicated. I don't know what the heck that number has to do with this number. I'm assuming like if you temper these, you temper this. Or if you equate these, you temper this by default. Is the difference between these that? Maybe that's what I'm looking for. Is the maybe I did the wrong operation. Let's just divide it. No. That's not that either. Could pretty confused by this part. So what? I mean, what do these numbers have to do with? What does this have to do with this? Oops. Semobilla. Is it half of a mobilla? Is that what that is? Is it half of that? Where's this number? One. This is a 9-digit number. And this is also 9. These are two 9-digit numbers. So I would think like one or both of these would, or the difference between these would like fit inside of that, or be that, or something. I mean, it must temper it out as a result of tempering these, but I don't see how. Trimobilla. Is that same number? 268? Yeah. Assuming so. Hey, Yak, what's up? Could be the subgroup. It's easy. It's a big comma. You mean like a long string of numbers, or it's actually wide? This is only like a third of a cent. Unless I did the math wrong. What is this? That's similar. Almost the same. That's also very similar. Just a little wider. Hmm. So is this... Wait, was this one in between those? Is that what that was? So hold on, this one... Yeah, whoa. So this one's point... Hold on, I'm curious. Is that all it is? Is it because it's in between them? Maybe it doesn't have to be like exactly related if it's in between. And then I think it's smaller than these though. I don't think it is between. Yeah, it's actually smaller. Yeah, actually smaller. It's definitely not the difference between them. And it doesn't even look like it could be like a factor of one of them, vice versa. So I don't really understand that part at all. They're they're definitely like a similar size though. Rank 2 temperaments, tempers out. 10 of these bad fifths reach more in tune 1. It doesn't say anything about approximately. Oh well. I'll just have to like learn about tuning theory at some point. I don't know if it's because they're just like similar sizes. So they all uh like change the scale in the same way, change the chain of fifths in the same way because they're a similar size. I guess that would make sense, but it doesn't say like approximately. It just literally says it tempers this out. Maybe maybe if it maybe if oh, I guess since this is larger, it must temper this out too. Because you wouldn't have a comma smaller than that. So it so I guess the family tempers this. Well, I guess then there's a lot of temperaments that. Let's see. This is a this is a 5 limit comma. I think that also is like relevant because this is this. Um, so this is the 5 limit version. Is that's not on there? How does the mapping relate to this? It like almost looks flipped over. So since this is 5 limit, it has 1 comma. This 7, it has 2, 3, 4, 5. So as you ascend in primes, you add more commas, and the commas, the first two are no. It's kind of interesting. I'm trying to like reverse engineer something I should probably just like read about, but I kind of like just trying to figure it out too. Although I probably won't, but I wonder if like the first one becomes 49, 48. So I'm guessing like these together somehow also make this one. Massive X is crash your Ableton. Massive X. All right, anyway, I'll go back to this in a little bit. Let's see. You'll soon have your media sorted out. Yeah, I was watching some YouTube videos of people doing stuff in Ableton, and the workflow looks like really good for doing like loops. See what I'm... Oh, it is. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. I'll get to that in just a second. I was gonna try to finish just putting in these bass notes. But yeah, let me I'll just save that. Yeah, I'll switch over to that. So I think this is right. Yeah. So I have it set up so that going up, I think it's just like an inverted porcupine. It's going up, it's 3. Instead of going vertically, it being 3, and then you get like a, you get 5 octaves, which is pretty crazy for the 22 layout. And I gotta remember how the scales work. I think it's just like, yeah. Oops. Yeah. It's a little weird, but It's just so unintuitive. It's hard to like know where you're at. But it's actually pretty ergonomic. Like, it's just like it's really hard to understand what you're doing because like the horizontal offset is 7, and up and down is like 3. Yeah, it's got a really good range. It's just like making sense of it is gonna be like really bizarre. Yeah, I think I tried 4 and I didn't like it as much. Yeah, 4 was annoying. The the using the 3 going up gives you these diagonal scales, which are a lot more comfortable to play. No, the one in 19 was also like has a similar like problem in that it's like pretty unintuitive, but it I think was slightly better. 19. That's not it. What did I do for 19? I can't remember. I think I did 7 and 2. Yeah, this was the one in 19. And this one is also like unintuitive, but it was actually starting to click a little bit for me. I think just because 19 you can just play a diatonic scale and it's kind of clean anyway. But again, it was like really hard to like know what the notes are. And here you get 4 octaves on this one, which is I guess 5 technically. Yeah, you get 5 octaves on this one too, or 4. 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 octaves. You get 5 octaves. So, but like the edges are kind of like wonky, I guess. Like it's not perfect on the bottom or the top. You kind of lose a couple notes, but everything in between is like normal. So on this one, it's going up by 2, and then the horizontal offset is 7. But yeah, but like the scales are like these scales are pretty easy to play. Like once you know what the notes are, it's pretty it's a little easier left-handed, but if I tilt it, it's not bad for the right hand. It's just like it's so easy to get lost. But it does start to make sense. as you do. I think, I mean, I've literally messed with it for like 2 days. I think it's the sort of thing that like at first it would be really annoying, but eventually I'll just kind of know it. And like the naturals and sharps and flats and all that still do line up. And like the 22 one is a little harder to comprehend than the 19, but I that's also just like the nature of 22. It's just kind of a weird scale on weird to understand 22. So, but this doesn't look right. What is this supposed to be? 9? 7? Can't remember what my 22 layout was. Up and down it was 3, right? Am I in 22? It says 22. Oh, this was it. Yeah, that's your just regular major, and then here's your super fifth, super pyth, whatever. Yeah, you get a lot of range, and then the chords that you're mostly gonna want to play are a little easier to play. Yeah, the 22 one is a little less. I was, I think I'm a little happier with the 19 one. So I might try some more things with 22, but I definitely feel like I'm kind of like onto something with that. Um, like I might pursue one of those layouts. Hey Romeo's. 34 Tetracut. But yeah. But yeah, Romeo's, I don't know if you caught that last bit, but this linnstrument layout, it's like a porcupine but vertical. So you get like tons of notes. You get a pretty wide range. It's like what is it, 5 octaves? Yeah. You lose a little bit on the top and on the bottom, but not much. If you want to do like a wide uh voicing, actually the 19 one was pretty nice. I do want to learn the 22 one as well, but what was the 19 one? This was it 6? No, this was 2. This was what, 7? Yeah. Yeah, the chords in this one were pretty nice. The only thing is like the thirds are kind of like on a weird spot. It's almost like a worse for closed in voicings. Especially the right hand. It's a little weird. For just like a closed position major triad. But it's like not bad if you want to do more like open voicings feel really nice. And like two-handed stuff. it's just so hard to make sense of like where you are. I guess this would be F sharp. Like you can kind of see it. It's like C to E, F G A B. But yeah, it's just not super intuitive. But yeah, I'm like pretty confident I could get used to it. I mean, it reminds me a lot of playing guitar. Just in that it's like you almost like just get used to not really understanding what you're doing. And actually, I think over time this would be easier to learn. Try a Kleismic mapping for 19. This is Negri vertical. So what would that, I mean, what would that be, do you know? You know what the step size is? 219. Okay. That's what I have right now. Are you talking to Romeo's? Oh, so you're saying 5 instead of 7? I did try this one. I did not like it as much. But yeah, it's not bad though. It's not quite as much range, but it is more than like maybe it's a good middle ground to explore too. It's more than like Bose and K for sure. It might be worth exploring, yeah. It's actually really similar to the 22 one I'm doing. It's pretty similar to that. It's definitely like more intuitive than what I was doing a second ago. And it's definitely like a little like neater in terms of like it's cleaner in terms of like just making sense of it. It's easier to play. I mean, it's easier to play scales for sure. It's not bad. what would this, the super major would be like this. Not bad. And then where's the sub minor? That's not bad. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's definitely like that seems like that might, it definitely has like, it's like a halfway, it's a nice like halfway point. So like the Bose K is like super. There's like two of the Bose Ks. The horizontal one is like the most intuitive. It's the easiest to understand the layout, but it has so many redundant notes. Like you usually only get an octave and some change, maybe 2 octaves. But here you just get an octave and some change. And then the inverted Bose K, you get a little more range. It's a little less intuitive, but not really difficult by any means. But again, not much range, although quite a bit better. Get 3 octaves, that's not terrible. And then as we ascend, this Kleismic thing has a nice diagonal. That's decent range. 3 and 3 plus, I guess. So similar to that, Bose K, but a little bit more. And that, but I really like the diagonal scales. Those are a big plus for me. Just ergonomically. But it only seems to work if you tilt it. For the right hand. But I do think that's probably a better way of playing it, just in general, is to have the diagonal scale. Like, I think that, in the long run, is more ergonomic. The square scales are like, just, they're sort of clunky. You never really do it. It mirrors the piano more closely, but it is weird when the notes stack on top of each other that way. I haven't really tried making this diagonal. But the other, yeah, for the right hand, is terrible. Like, you would want them to be the opposite layout. Yeah, the horizontal stacks are like a little awkward ergonomically. Also, you lose range, but they're more intelligible. How do I decide what scales to practice? Right now, I mostly just practice diatonic scales and ones that are closely related. But eventually I'll branch out for sure. But right now I just try to do basic stuff, basic scales, basic chords. Like in 22, I'll do the Zarlino or whatever, and then I'll do the minor version. And then I'll do the super pipe versions too, because they're kind of in the layout. And then I'll try like all the basic triads, major, minor, super major, sub minor, and then I'll try the 4-note chords, of course. And then I'll look for like a harmonic seventh, harmonic 11, or its closest approximation or whatever. Yeah, the 5-octave range is like really nice. So I do. So stump, temperament. So in Magic 6 of 19, and then the other one's 10 of 19. So for this I will have to change the other number though. Because what do I want my other number to be? Or do I keep this like 7 or whatever? So I did try some of these like more extended ones. The other thing is that I try to do bigger mappings, but you run out of notes. So the ones I was showing y'all earlier for 22 and 19, the first ones I was doing, that utilizes the whole grid. If I extended either the generators vertically or horizontally, you run out of notes. So there could be a workaround if you can change, like if you can alter how the MIDI gets distributed or whatever. But yeah, I couldn't use the whole space on a larger mapping. But let me see. So if I do 6, I just need to figure out what my other one is gonna be. So I'll try 6 and 5 maybe. So this looks similar. No, this looks very strange. That's all chords. That's like that's insane. Oh, weird. Very odd. This one's not good. I need to change my other number. So what if I do 6 and 1? It's probably gonna be seems like if I flipped it, it might work. This is the 1 and 6. That's like if you don't have the firmware, that's how you would map it. You don't get any range that way. We did 6 and 5. Didn't do 6 and 3. Oh, you can't do 6 and 3. Okay, never mind. Alright, we did 6 and 5. That one's super weird. What is interesting about this is the chords are all right here. All the chords are like super simple. Kind of interesting. But I wonder, like, how do you play? That's just the major chords. How do you play the minors? Are they just? No, it's just right there. The super's right here. This one's like really nice for chords, actually. And how much range do you have on this? Not much. 2 octaves. It's kind of weird. All right, what was the other one? 10? 6 and 10? Six and 10, you would lose notes. Right? I'm like pretty sure you would lose notes. Yeah, that one's not. That one's not gonna do anything. So I could do a 10 and a, let's try 10 and 3, I guess. So this one you run out of notes. 10 is kind of big. You can't really use any of the board. Maybe if I go 3 this way and 10 the other way, it'll work. Okay, we do have the whole board. You get 4 octaves. It's kind of a weird. It's like not anything you'd want to play. Maybe two-handed. That's so strange. Interesting. That was 10 and 3. 10 and 5 would not work. 10 and 7 is gonna be too big. Yeah. 10 is probably just too large to really work with. What was the one I was doing before? It was 7 and 3. No. Is it 7 and 4? No, that does look interesting though. I think it was 7 and 2. Yeah. So yeah, it's got a lot of range. It's fairly ergonomic. It's just the trade-off is it's very unintuitive. But I think so. Yeah, 1 and 3 is like Bose and K. Or yeah. It's like the most, that's the most intuitive, is the Bose and K. And you only get, you don't even, you get You get 2 octaves, I guess. It's the best one to like look at the scale and look at the colors and go, okay, this is how this works. And the 10-2 is just like the inverted version. That one's fine, or 3-2. That one's a little more range, a little less intuitive. This 5-2. What did we say that was Klezmic? That one's pretty nice, yeah. Because diagonal, it is intuitive. It's kind of like the best of both worlds. Because this one you can just kind of start playing. The only thing, it's not right hand friendly until you turn it. But once you do, it's fine. So yeah, I do like that one a lot. And the chords are like all right there. And then this confusing one that I made. You have a ton of range. And it's just so confusing. I'm sure you could get used to it though. Yeah, you do lose like that C, but you get the note above it. It's kind of weird on the edges, on the corners. Magic. Magic is the one, is the 5 one? Is that what that is? Wiki hiding 3 and 11. 6? 6 and 5? No, that one's just weird. That one's like, that one's strange. Or is it 6 and 7? What would that be? Well, that's not it. I can't do anything with that. I don't know what that is. 6. So Wiki hiding 3 and 11. Yeah, it's not gonna fit. It's 3 and then 11. It's just not gonna fit. Oh, it does fit. All right, cool. Yeah, I don't like the Wiki hiding stuff. I've already tried these. They're only good if you want to play just major and minor chords. if you want to do sub major and sub minor, it's like really awkward. The major stuff is like nice, and also it has a lot of redundant notes. So like you're like some things about it are really cool, like your major scales like this. Sorry. It's like right there. And then your minor scale is very similar. Oops, sorry. And your chords are like right where you might want them. On a linnstrument, you can't play a grid of 4, unfortunately. So that's kind of bad for this layout too. It's a lot of things that don't work for it that I think on the hexagonal layout is better. Like it's probably like a million times better on a Lumitone. Yeah, Wiki Hiding's not good on the instrument. I highly discourage people from trying it, or not trying it, but from using it, because it's not it's just if you're gonna want to play, like, it's supposed to be good for playing chords, but it's not on a instrument, because the way the instrument works just doesn't work, unfortunately. And then like this, if you want to do the Zen chords, if you want to do super major, sub minor, it's achievable, but they're in less friendly positions compared to the major and minor chords. It's like hard to even figure out where it is. I don't even know what I'm playing right now. Can't even tell what I'm playing. That's F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, D flat, E flat. It's B sharp, B sharp, E sharp. Yeah, so your super major is like this. They're really spread out. Well, mapping is a good compromise. I mean, almost any of the other ones we were doing is like better for playing those chords. So far, the most balanced out of all these seems like that. It's like 5 and 4, maybe. 5 and 2. Yeah, 5 and 2. That one's seems like a nice middle ground of where like it's it's intuitive enough to look at it and know what note you're playing, and it's ergonomic because it's diagonal. I might try my confusing layout anyway, just because I kind of like the range. But yeah, this gives you 3 octaves and some change. I kind of like the range of this though. But it's very confusing. I wouldn't necessarily recommend this, especially not to like a beginner, but if you're frustrated by the range, I'm definitely going to explore it just for that reason. I kind of want to see if in 22 what other options there are, because what we're doing is like 8 and was it 8 and 3? No, was it 7 and 3? Yeah. I don't want to see like what. So this is basically a porcupine. This one's cool because it has yeah, it's got 5 octaves, and then it's kind of weird because the layout kind of skips around. Like here, you want to play this note with your thumb, but then it's weird to like wrap around your thumb from there. You can do it if you're just going back down. That's fine, but if you want to keep going up, it kind of makes sense to jump up here because you get the same note up here. It has just a tiny bit of redundancy, which can be kind of nice, but it's not intuitive at all to jump up there just to play your second. But it is nice that that workaround is available because it's a little more comfortable. Yeah, it's so unintuitive. It like when you look at it, the layout makes sense. Part of it's not that the layout is unintuitive, because you can see C, D, E, F, G, A, B. That's not hard to see. But in 22, you want to play like Zarlino and stuff. So that makes it a little extra weird. I think that's just an unavoidable aspect of playing in 22, though. See you, variable. Have a good one. Magic also works in 22. So what would that be? Kind of curious. Try some different ones in 22 as well. Seven. Yeah, I'm doing 7, but going across. What would your horizontal generator be? 1. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, the thing is with this, you only get like 2 octaves. A little more. Yeah, you don't get a lot of range. Um, Also, it doesn't really. It's laid out like a lot like a guitar. It's like not obvious where the scales are, but if I try maybe a different. So what I was doing before was kind of like an inverted version of that, I guess. Just I was doing 7 across and then 3 up. I think I tried 5 and I ran out of notes. Yeah, it runs out of notes. And it's also like just a weird layout too, because everything's like stacked on top of itself. So 5 is like not friendly. I think 4 was, yeah, you also run out of notes. So like 7 and 3 is like kind of the limit. As far as like how far I can push it. I can't remember if I tried like 6 and 5. This has all the notes. It does not. It's not really making sense at all. It's almost like a flip of the one I was just doing, I guess. Kind of interesting. This one has 3 octaves. It's got a little less range. It's actually like, it actually makes less sense than the other one. Has less range. It is kind of similar in a weird way, but it's almost like a flip of the other one. But it's like really hard to make sense of. Like I don't know where the chords are. It's major 7. Yeah, I don't know. And I've tried like 4 and 3 is kind of the bows and K. On 22. Makes sense, but not a lot of range. And then 4 and 1 is the other bows and K. Clean 4 octaves. Very intuitive layout. It's not a lot of range. So yeah, the whole reason I've been like branching out is just to try to find more range essentially. And it really seems that 7 across, 1 up. Yeah, that's a good idea. It's almost like if you want range, you kind of have to sacrifice some intelligibility. But if I had a lumitone, that wouldn't really be a problem. Like if I had a lumitone, I could probably just stick with Bose and K for 22 or 19 and it'd be fine. So what's going on here? I think I get this. I do not. Chords are in a kind of a nice spot. The scale's a little awkward for sure because it's just like a flip version of the guitar basically. But you definitely have more range though. You have 4 octaves, which is not bad. It's actually pretty good. The scale is weird though. The diagonal scale, this scale is not only unintelligible, but it's also not ergonomic, unfortunately. So it's like the balance is ergonomics, intelligibility, and range. So it's like you can lose one. You can sacrifice a little bit of one for the others, but in this case you're losing the ergonomics and the intelligibility. You do get more range, but it does seem like this one could be good for playing chord stuff. You know, and of course, just like anything else, you could get used to it. It wouldn't be. It would just take a little practice, but it's very hard to see the scale. Like it's very much like a guitar with the single step size, but it's like flipped around. Some of those other layouts, they were more guitar-like than like the Bose and K, but you can still like in a weird way you can kind of you can see the diatonic scale. It's just like diagonal and maybe like weirdly spread out. But like here, it's very much a guitar shape. It's like not. It's not obvious how this. You can't see the keyboard on it on this layout at all. But on like if we go back to 7 and 3, like you can see there's C D E, and then here's F G A B, and so on. C D E. You can kind of it splits up. It's kind of annoying, like, but you can still you can make sense of it. It's not super clean, but you can still, you can still use that visual cue in a guitar like layout. It's a lot more like counting the steps. So it's like C to D you can see. I mean, you can make sense of it, but it all truncates. So like if you want in something like 19, it would be cleaner because another thing too is you could just highlight your Zarlino scale or whatever. But if you want to see all the notes, like super pipe would be pretty straightforward because they're all one color. But for like Zarlino, it's not bad though. I think if you're used to guitar stuff, which to be fair, I'm somewhat familiar with. I do play some guitar. It's very similar to that. And then the chords seem pretty nice too. Because like the triad is like right there. So I think this is like really nice for that, actually, for the chords there. Yeah, that's like crazy good for the major 7th and all that. Let me see if I can. Yeah, so then like the minor would be can't remember how to do the minor in this. I think it's just the 22 Ito minor. It's so weird. It's not so much the layout. It's like so. 11 up, 2 across. Yeah, I think zigzaggy is not necessarily bad. 11 up, 2 across. Oh, this is reminding me of Wiki Haydn a little bit. Oh, this is so strange. So like the super fifth is all right here. Oh, that's weird. That's kind of interesting. So that's the super fifth. This one's actually really interesting. Cause yeah, this one's really interesting actually. When I first looked at it, I thought this doesn't look good for doing the Zen stuff because it looks like all the all the naturals are in one spot and all that, but actually the like Zarlino's right here. So this one is like it is a little like back and forth. One thing that's interesting too, it's very consistent. It's only 3 octaves. Hold on, my dog is. She's fine. Only 3 octaves. This is interesting. The pattern for the scales though. So what the chords? So this would be major. It's definitely interesting. You get like almost 4 octaves. You just don't get the top note. You do get 4 octaves if you like split up the keyboard, I guess. It feels a little weird to play though, the scale. I do like that they're right there though. That's pretty neat. Like the layout at first doesn't make sense, but it just takes a second. It really just takes a second to understand it. And then yeah, if you want your yeah, so you get your kind of like super major, super minors, and then your regular majors. Yeah, it is cool how you have access to Zarlino in a very like this is the first time playing in 22 where like Zarlino seems almost easier to approach than Super Pith. Which is really nice for 21, 22, I mean. It is a little clunky. It's not like my favorite. Like ergonomically, I'm not a huge fan. It's honestly, it doesn't have great range. It has a weird. It has the appeal is like the way Zarlino works on this. It's like, oh, if there's some way to like get that same pattern, but diagonal, that would be more ergonomic, I think. So if there's some way to do that diagonally. So right now, this is 2. Be like 7 and 5 or whatever. Didn't I try that one already? Wait, what are we doing right now? This is vertical, it's 2. And then a horizontal, we're at 11. So that's the thing, like, how do you make this 2 and this 11? It'd be like 13 and 11 or something. So that's not gonna fit, right? That'd be right though. It's not gonna fit, but I want to see if it would technically work. I don't think that is it. It doesn't look right. Alright, anyway, that doesn't work anyway. Smallest version I have is 3-in-1. Oh, interesting. So that oh, 7. So if you do 7 and 5, what is that one? Okay, interesting. So it's like what we were just doing, but diagonal instead of that's not good for chords. Pretty good for range though. But yeah, very weird chord voicing. I guess triads are okay. That's not very good for chords, unfortunately. It's kind of interesting scale though. This one. That one's like a little weird on chords, but not. It's more like that. It's weird. The 22 is tricky. It's hard to know what to do. And this one's just weird. I don't even run out of notes. Seems like it's weird for the right hand. Well, major and minor chords are pretty decent. The scales look super weird. The chords are not in a rectangle, yeah. Alright, let's see. Oh dang, time flies by. So yeah, all these layouts are pretty interesting. Alright, I think I'm gonna do some ear training, assuming the website's up. And it is. And then I do have a extended weekend, so I can do longer streams for the next couple nights, but I'll probably wrap up after this, so I'm getting kind of getting ready to go. But I'll do some ear training first. I'm just gonna do 20 of the regular 12 Edo. But yeah, the layout thing, I don't know, in 22 it would be, I think 22 poses more problems just because it's not mean tone. But yeah, it'd be nice to is that a minor 7th? Minor 6? Major 6, damn. Yeah, it'd be nice to settle on a, or at least like pick a layout that I really want to try out. Well. What? Why does this one throw me off? It's major minor 6. Is that a minor 6? I'm so confused. I knew it was like in the area, but I couldn't tell what was going on. Minor 6. Is that a tritone? Oh, why does this throw me off? Minor 6. Like that note does not want to like click for me. I don't know why. Or that interval, I mean. Definitely getting better at this. Not really getting fast though. Yeah, I'm definitely getting better at these tricky ones, which is nice. All right. This? No, damn. Same one. Okay, that makes sense. Can't tell if it's. I always think it's like flat and then sharp. I think it's flat. Probably gonna be sharp. Yeah, it was. I don't know why I'm not hearing that neutral. Are you kidding? Again, I always flip them. I don't know why. I thought it was sharp, but it's flat. Oh, I clicked the wrong one. That's dumb. I knew it was a fourth, and I saw the 4, but I know it's 500 cents. I don't know why. Is that this? Oh, I was way off. So much better than the last time. I'm getting a little better, yeah. I'm actually getting decent at the 19. I think I made 21st place last time I did the 19 Edo. Yeah, I definitely could tell I'm getting better. So that sounded sharp, so that must be flat, I guess, right? I'll choose right on. Oh, it actually was sharp. Oh, okay. One of the points. Yeah, now today, every time I think it's minor, it's neutral. I don't know why I'm not hearing that. That sounds flat. Major 6. It was. Okay, that's good. Sometimes when you like consistently make a mistake, it's like, do you just try to adjust, or do you just still go with what your brain is telling you? It's like hard to choose sometimes. Mm-hmm. It's like around a fifth. Yeah. I couldn't tell where it was different. Oh, wow, okay. Oh. Mm-hmm. 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 Is it 150? It won't tell you the last one for some reason. That's a pretty bad score. Can't remember what's my main score in this one. I mean my highest score. It's pretty low. 89. That's my high score. But it's a long list, so I'm like in the middle. 57.9. Pretty bad compared to these though. But on the 19 Edo, I actually have like a almost respectable score. Someone bopped me a little bit, but I was 21st. But yeah, I didn't do too bad. That was just the other day. I'm kind of surprised. I honestly, I mean, obviously, I hope to like just completely dominate and finally dethrone steamed hams. But realistically speaking, if I could just catch up with oh, I did catch up with Airmax. I was gonna say if I could just catch up with Airmax. Looks like I already did. So I need to set my sights a little higher. Now I want to catch up with Cam Taylor a little bit. Maybe not like prime Cam Taylor, but like bad day Cam Taylor and normal variable. Yeah, you might be right. I don't know. What do I do? Yeah, what do you do when you stop making a mistake? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, eventually your like intuition, or like eventually your second guessing has to like catch up with your, you know, But yeah, I do. This stuff definitely helps. It definitely helps. Uh, like I was really bad at this one at first. I'm still pretty bad at it, but I was really bad at the 19 Ito one at first. So I've definitely gotten better at it. I'm not super consistent though, because like I'll still if I like I'm gonna do some 19 later. I'm still gonna make like if I do it 3 times, probably 2 of those times are still gonna be like really close to the bottom, and then I might have like one good one, or better, middle, medium good, however you want to put that. But it's definitely like progress. Oh, that's an interesting one. It's like a sixth or a seventh. Is it 950? No, other side. Is that 650? Damn, 750. Minor six? Hey, it's one of these. That again? $10.50? Oh wow. Yeah, I can never tell if it's super major. That's definitely like a weak point I've noticed. I think that's this. No, it was just 100. Oh, weird. Just major, or is it? Yeah, okay. Sounds like a flat major six. Maybe it's actually sharp. No, it's actually flat. Okay. Sounds like a minor seven-ish. Was that a sharp one or a regular one? I think it's sharp. No, it was regular. Damn. It's like a fifth, but like one off. So either was a fifth or it was one off. And 113 is not very good. I kind of want to do this one more time. Why did I do that? Alright, forget it. That's terrible. Alright, I'm gonna do 19. Um, oh man, which one is it? Is it this? It was that. Damn, why don't I just choose that one? Man. Oh, it's the same one. That was like the only time that's ever sounded weird. The 19 can throw you off because they're all slightly different. Is that like a minor 6? Okay. That's such an interesting interval. Kind of like that one. It's like very ghastly sometimes, but sometimes it sounds like whimsical. Oh. This is a minor second. Minor second. No, it's just minor second. So yeah. Oh really? Sub minor. Let's go. Oh, it was minor. Got this. Yes, they did really poorly. Yours got worse when you went from treating 12 Edo to treating JI as a default. Yeah, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I'll ever hear JI as the default. Did you do a lot of ear training before you got into JI and stuff? I do wonder. I wonder like cuz I'm a bit older, we're not, quite a bit older starting this. Like I don't know. I wonder if I started when I was a kid or a teenager if I would have like adjusted to JI more. I don't know. I've listened to a lot of Zen music. I mean, I don't know. I've not really. It's hard for me to like hear those as being fundamental categories, like anything JI. Honestly, it's a lot easier for me to like just think in broader categories of like the interval qualities that basically come from that are basically just whatever's in 12. Like it's not like I definitely hear like major second, minor second, blah blah blah. And then like everything like all the Zen interval, like all of these intervals, they might sound, even if they sound like slightly off, I'm still just like, oh, major second, major sixth, that I'm like hearing. You listened to Zen actively for about 3 years. Yeah, I've been into this for probably coming up on 4 years now. So, like making, like retuning the piano and playing Zen and listening to Zen music. But I don't know. I've never gotten that into the, like, not that I'm not in, I like the sound of it and all that, but I haven't, like, I don't know. A lot of people talk about JI and relate everything to JI. It's just, I don't know. It doesn't really click for me in the way that other people talk about it, or at least a lot. Not everybody does that. I don't think I'm unique in that regard. I think some other Zen musicians are like, they don't really hear it that well either, I guess. You only listen to Zen. Yeah. What's the goal of this, Cowboy? It's just a ear trainer. I'm kind of just rambling right now because my brain's getting tired. But yeah, I'm gonna do this ear trainer. I'm gonna try to identify the interval. So it says it in cents, and this is not a normal ear training. It's all Zen harmonic. It's all microtonal. So 19 divisions of the octave. So they say the cent values here. So I'm gonna play this and try to identify the interval. It's like minor seventh, major third, major third, minor seventh, minor third, major six, minor seventh, sub minor second, sub minor sixth. No, it was minor six. Sub minor seventh. No, it was minor seventh. Uh, oh wow, it's way off. Whoa, it's way off on that too. I can hear it now though. Oy. This is minor seven. pretty bad. I do play piano, yeah. And this is a linnstrument. I was trying out some different layouts, and this is 22 equal. But yeah, I do play piano primarily, and I guess historically, if you want to put it that way. That's what I have spent most of the time on, most of my time on in music. But yeah, I'm learning how to produce, and I've written a bunch of songs, so I'm working on an album, and not really doing that on stream, but off stream I've been working on that, and then when I'm streaming I'm doing microtonal stuff. I've gotten into the microtonal thing the last like 3 or 4 years, and I spend I spend way too much time at home because I'm so busy working on music. I thought it might be cool to start streaming, and I thought it'd be cool to stream the microtonal stuff, so that's why I'm streaming that, just because I think it's interesting. So, and people want to learn it too, so someone could someone could see it as a resource. Honestly, I'm probably getting more out of it. It's probably more of a resource for me than it is to most casual viewers, but because honestly, a lot of the people who come in, they seem to know more about it than I do, so which is fine. I'm not complaining, but that was my thought process when I got into it. I was like, oh, maybe someone will learn something from this, but it's mostly been the other way around. Uh, but yeah, it is interesting. Yeah, the theory stuff is it goes so deep. Honestly, before I got into microtonal music, I thought theory was kind of boring and really easy. But the microtonal theory is like so it's so like math heavy. It's kind of hard to wrap your head around. It's the first time I felt like, you know, knowing something about music actually requires you to like really use your brain. um, which is kind of fun, honestly. Anyway, theory is boring until it makes sense. I mean, the concepts are so simple. I'll say like from a piano perspective, at least to me, the theory has always been very simple on paper, like your modes or whatever, and how they work, how they're set up. There's not really much to it. You kind of just memorize which, what modes are what. But like the logic behind it is so straightforward. It's just like if you know your C scale, which it's just the white keys on the piano, to get all your modes, you just start on a different white key. So really the only effort in understanding the theory is just knowing which mode corresponds to which, starting on which key of the scale, which key of the scale. And then, you have to translate to all 12 keys and all that. But it's really kind of straightforward on paper. But then when you're actually practicing it and trying to apply it and make sense of like, why is this a concept? What is the importance of this? And like hearing the sound of Dorian versus Lydian versus major versus minor, and kind of understanding how like chords can work in those different systems, and relating modes to chords, and kind of like kind of understanding it more from a compositional perspective and trying to actually use it, that is a lot more involved. And even just like trying to understand what the point is, because I spent years going, yeah, like, thinking, this is boring and dumb, like what's the point? But over time I started to appreciate that like every mode has a particular sound, it evokes a particular mood. And in more recent years, like, I understand how they're like, you can go from like the dark to the bright in this kind of more like big picture stuff that, I don't know, it's almost like over time when you see the big picture of it more, it almost gets it in the very beginning it seems really simple because on paper it is simple. In the middle, it seems like maybe the most complicated because you don't really understand the why behind the what. And then as you progress and kind of see the big picture even more, you kind of understand how like the modes are, you know, it's descriptive of a sound. And the sound is in the chords, it's in the scale. It comes out melodically and harmonically, of course. I mean, even to talk about it just sounds kind of dumb because it's like duh, but at the same time, it's like you can appreciate that. Um, that with a little experience and exposure, you can like actually recognize them, and then if you want to evoke a particular sound, like Lydian, great example. Everyone loves Lydian, but it just sounds kind of spacey. If you want a spacier, less, like slightly more ambiguous sound that's still like pretty and relatively bright or happy. It almost like moves major from happy to bright in a weird way. But like you get a particular sound, but also you don't. I mean, also it's like the the chords you. I mean the notes you don't play are like really really make a huge difference too, because like you can do Lydian with like major seventh chords. That gives you a very like that can give you like a very like modern jazzy kind of sound. But you can also do like kind of the sharp four sort of chords without the sevenths. It's a very it's much less spacey, but it evokes a little bit of that same feeling, but not quite as spacey. I don't know how to put it. A little more, it can be a lot more nostalgic, or I don't know. Anyway, I'm not very good at describing it, but it's all important when you just tend to follow your gut. Yeah, I mean, same really, same thing here. Anyway, this is why I'm not a theorist. I'm not. I can't even really. Every time I start talking about this, I just start to ramble, talk in circles. But Shizu said, "Does that have anything to do with music?" Oh man, Variable didn't have to ban them. I didn't even see that. That that was okay. That wasn't a big deal. Um. Oh well. You tend to go for bright, happy, flowy kind of music. Yeah. You probably like major keys then and like major chords, and if you want more ambiguity in your sound, then you can play more dense chords or play more sevenths. Add more sevenths. Play more sus chords. It's kind of like a sweeter version of it, but you can get sort of the same effect. You want like a really modern sound, use a lot more open chords, use a lot more like stacking fourths and fifths kind of thing. But if you want bright, flowy, major chords with sprinkling, basic try. I mean, I honestly like I spent years doing like really thick, lush, dense chords, which I still love, don't get me wrong, but I've been focusing a lot more lately on just like trying to find really simple, tight, concise, and evocative uh, chord changes, basically. And I find myself using a lot more triads and thinking way less modally. I think when I personally think more in terms of modes, I tend to use, I think, more notes in chords, and I tend not to write. I tend to use a lot more like parallelism, and my writing is not as tight. It's like a good mentality for like improvising though. But I really like, yeah, it's a jazzier approach. But I really like tighter. I like the longer I make music, the more I appreciate like really tight, concise, clear, like, and you get a lot of that from like more, not only traditional chords but just like fewer notes in chords, because you can do like a non-traditional, you can do a modern chord, but if you just like keep the number of notes smaller, generally speaking, you just get a clearer message, I guess. Because if you, because when you're playing like, you like definition of music, yeah, I'm I'm getting more and more in that. I mean, I do like complex music. Don't get me wrong. Probably most of the music I listen to, and even write, even now, probably more people would classify it as on the complex side, kind of. But I definitely like think more about doing simpler. I don't know. I'm when I was younger, I was always trying to like do complicated things to kind of prove that I could do them. And now that I've done that enough, I've like proven I can do all those things for most of them anyway, enough of them to not really, I'm not like insecure about that anymore. So I don't know if insecurity was even really the thing. I just wanted to see, I just believed I could do it, and I just wanted to do it. I thought it was cool, and it's good. But now I'm like, well, can I do? I don't know. It's now I'm more like, can I do simpler things? Because I don't know. I also like, I appreciate that a lot. A lot of the music that I enjoy uses like simpler devices too. Like, you enjoy classical music, but you don't want to play it. Yeah, I love playing classical music. Classical music, the harmony is pretty straightforward. It's the form in classical music that tends to be a little more complex. And yeah, that's a whole other thing that, I don't know. I love a simple form, or it's not even like a simple form. I love logical form in music. Like, it 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 always bothers me when I hear something that has like a really cool part, like one really strong part, and then like it makes no sense in the context of the rest of the song. And it's almost like you threw away that good part. And I mean, I've done that a million times myself. I probably will do it a million more. But like, you can almost appreciate less good parts if they all fit together in a way that's really satisfying. Like the form does add something to the whole thing. So like, and then of course you want good parts. So, but it'll strengthen the good parts you have. But it's like, It is difficult though, because coming up with like a cool lick, not that that's easy, but you know, you get the cool lick, there you go. But then like coming up with a place for it, you know, making the other parts work with it and not against it, and making it make sense in a larger context, like I do think that's really important. The melody flows sublime more often than not. It can also become overwhelming. Oh, in classical music. Yeah, I definitely appreciate like the kind of like I guess the modern pop kind of way of like treating melody, where it's like you have a you have a fairly concise melodic idea, you know, like a catchy idea, and it's very clear what the main idea is, and it gets repeated like two or three times. And like just like the basic pop song form, I think is fantastic. Um, and I have I've written some songs that kind of just do the verse chorus bridge chorus thing. I do really like that form. Uh, a lot of my more recent stuff though, even when I was like thinking I was going for that, I ended up doing like a different. I've, one thing I've been doing a lot that's weird, like on my on this album I'm gonna put out eventually, like I've been splitting like every song, and not on purpose. It's just like how the music ends up being. But like every song has like two halves. It's a bit. It's not like a typical way to structure a song. It's almost like two song. It's almost like two songs put together. Because like the first half will be one way, and then the second half will be another way. And they'll like flow together in a way that makes sense, and I'll try to like recall, like reference back to the, I don't know why that my camera does that. I'll reference back to the earlier part or whatever. Uh, but yeah, it's like just this weird, like I don't know how you would describe. It's just like a binary form, I guess, which is a very old form. But like it's like usually a binary form is like a short form kind of, but these are a little more extended. I want to say it'll be like a it'll be like it'll be like a it'll be like a verse chorus, and then a second half. I don't even know, an opus, or you mean like a coda or something? I don't know. Anyway, but I find it kind of interesting, but it's I don't know if it's good or bad or what. It's just something I've noticed I've been doing a lot. Anyway, I'm gonna get going. But yeah, it was nice chatting with you, Cowboy, and a mini opus, yeah. But yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. Gonna be well, I'm mixing this since you weren't here earlier, Cowboy, I'll show you this before I go. I have this improv album I've been doing, or I record some jams with my old band. Anyways, it's all just the improvised jam stuff, so I'm gonna be mixing that and maybe adding some bass lines, and then doing more microtonal, probably more linnstrument stuff. I mean, and some more ear training. But yeah, anyway, made it this far. Thanks for watching, and yeah, I'll be back on tomorrow night. So yeah, have a good rest of your day, night, whatever it is, wherever you are.